Hi everyone, the scripture for today is from the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 14 to 17. Sing aloud, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Rejoice and exult with all your heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord has taken away the judgment against you. He has cleared away your enemies. The King of Israel, the Lord, is in your midst. You shall never again fear evil. On that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, Fear not, O Zion, let not your hands grow weak. The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love, and he will exult over you with loud singing. He will rejoice over you with gladness. Zephaniah closed his book by pointing his audience to the coming day of the Lord. The impending judgment will be extensive as the jealous anger of the Lord removes all prideful people from his city, Jerusalem. Chapter 3, verse 7 to 8 and 11. On that day, God's wrath will leave no rebel untouched. However, within his city, God will leave people who are humble. His remnant, verse 12 to 13, as a foreshadowing, a later teaching, Matthew 5, verse 5, the meek will inherit Jerusalem in an appropriate response to the swift and decisive judgment on their enemies. Zephaniah called upon believers to rejoice. Zephaniah 3, verse 14 to 15, their God, the mighty one, was with them. Verse 16 to 17. Their rejoicing is reflective of another's rejoicing. Zephaniah goes on to details the Lord's affection towards his people. Zephaniah does not portray God as indifferent to his people. Rather, God delights in those who he delivers. In fact, the one who created music, soaring melodies, and resonant harmonies actually sings over his people. Verse 17. Though God sees his people this way, God's people often fail to see God's this way, as one who enthusiastically rejoices over them. The Apostle Paul, knowing the callous human heart, prayed that believers' eyes would be enlightened to see God's joy in the redeemed. His prayer for the Ephesians church included a request that they might see the riches of his glorious inheritance in the saints. Ephesians 1 verse 18. The inheritance Paul described does not appear to be one awaiting God's people. Rather, the inheritance is one that awaits God. God sees a diverse body of believers united in and clothed with Christ's righteousness. The meek inherit the earth. God inherits the meek. Zephaniah described a mighty to save God who would be with his people. Chapter 3, verse 17. In the Gospel of Matthew, an angel appeared to Joseph to tell him to name his soon-to-arrive son Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Matthew 1, verse 21. Matthew goes on to interpret this as a fulfillment of another name, Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Matthew 1, verse 22-23. The saving God dwells with and delights in his people. God rejoices over those who choose to trust him. Have a great day, you guys, and God bless.